The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Sciforror Film Podcast.
Hello indeed. Welcome. Hello everyone.
Welcome everybody. I'm Andy Walker and I'm joined as always by my good friend Badger. Hello Badger.
Hello indeed. All right, Andy, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I'm all right.
Good,
yes,
good.
And lots of interesting things going on, isn't there, for us? Just in case anyone didn't see the episode from the other day, and it was fantastic that our input actually changed the film.
Absolutely, yes. The maker of the film Goliath did say that he appreciated our input and he agreed with us, and he has changed the a section of the film because of what we said.
Which I think is a big achievement for us, and I think that the film, personally, I think the film will do leaps and bounds better now because it has a more serious edge to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It does take that kind of that bit that breaks the spell, if you like. It takes that out.
That's right. Because I don't know about you, but when that bit was on there, I actually burst out laughing. So I've gone from being really scared, and really sort of involved in the storyline, to all of a sudden then wonder why there was a clip art image of a monk on the roof. So I burst out laughing.
Absolutely.
And without that, now it should carry on the immersion, as it were.
Absolutely.
So that's very good. I'm really pleased he took notice of us.
Yeah, I'm pleased that. Firstly, I'm pleased that he agreed with us, and as you say, that he took note of it. He's a very nice man, and
he seemed very nice. Yeah,
he's very nice.
So please do, when you speak to him again, send my wishes because he's lovely. Yeah.
Well, and so I'd say to everybody out there, if you get a chance to watch Goliath, it's definitely worth a watch. And coming from somebody who doesn't like found footage films, I think that's quite.
Wow, yeah, that is an achievement, yeah.
All right, this week we are doing horror again, and we've got another independent film to review that will be coming out on DVD, on proper physical media and everything. So we'll start off with our two short films.
Yes.
The first of these is from 2025, and it's a film called Kreaster.
Yes.
The writers are Bill Hanstock, Jacob Cooney, and Philip Buchanan. Director Jacob Cooney. The cast is Sal Rendino, Greg Nutcher, Laura Poe, Amy Wade, Forrest Quaglia, and Andre Skinner. And the synopsis says, after an entire town vanishes without trace, a military officer and a paranormal researcher must uncover the truth from the sole survivor. Now, it says at the beginning of this that this is supposedly the true story behind the mythology and history of Easter Island.
That is a big load of old wobble.
Yeah, because there was nothing in this film that could see that had anything to do with Easter Island.
No.
Apart from the fact that the title sequence at the beginning and the end have pictures of the heads from Easter Island on them.
That doesn't make any sense.
I really didn't understand it. I was thinking, what has any of this got to do with Easter Island?
No, it's to do with H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu, and stuff like that, and mythology like that.
Absolutely.
Nothing to do with Easter Island.
I don't know. I mean, taking that away from it, I mean, I'm never totally convinced about a film or a story that is told almost entirely in flashbacks and them talking about it.
Yeah, it's unusual.
It's a bit kind of, but there were some good effects. And
Yes, most definitely. I enjoyed the gunplay, lots of bangs and whizzes and all that sort of stuff around. That was great. It reminded me of the film we reviewed the other week. Lots of gunplay, lots of
yeah,
soldiers running around, and that was all very well choreographed. I did enjoy that.
it was. I mean, some of the effects did make me go, "Oh, is that AI?" But then I
Yeah.
do that all the time nowadays. I can't help myself.
No, I know it is. It is easy to think like that
It's an
these days.
annoying way to think, but it is easy to get that way.
Yeah.
And
I
I
mean,
mean, it,
the
it looks
tentacle
good.
was good. I mean, you didn't see much of it, but there was a few Cthulhu references. You saw the odd tentacle drag people around and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, like you say, the AI aspect is a bit questionable. You
But I
know.
mean, I thought it looked pretty good, and it was well put together, and the effects, as I say, I thought were done well. But again, it's another one of these ones that looks like it could be the start of a bigger film or a post-credit scene.
Yeah, I liked the pacing of the beginning bit where it sort
Oh,
of slowly went towards him.
yeah,
But like
yeah,
you say, it did feel like it was a snapshot, and they have really said that. I think it's a mixture of, like they said, it was like a tester, didn't they? I think
yeah. I think
so.
so.
It's part of a tester, and then somebody in the comments did say, "I'm looking forward to the full version." I'm like, okay,
Well, if there's
so
going to be a full film, it'd be interesting to see what they do
yeah,
with the
that's
story.
what I that's what I was alluded to think by the comments, and some of the other vibe that I got was that it was a section of a film, and
Yeah,
then and I'm guessing they're going to go along the lines of like, oh, not Day of the Triffids, but it does have that sort of what's the one where the aliens take over people's bodies, brain fart.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Body Snatchers, yeah, it has
Yeah,
Body Snatchers vibe to it, but with a Cthulhuism twist.
yeah, it's possible. I mean, as I say, it would be interesting to see where they take the story and what they do with it if they're going to do it into a full
Yeah,
film. And as I say, it was only last year, so it's they've got time to do something with it.
yeah. I mean, I liked it, but then I
Yeah,
didn't and I liked the little twist at the end. But like you say, bits of it were good, bits of it were bad, and like you say, whose viewpoint were you looking at? Were you looking at the aliens? Were you looking at theirs? It's
yeah.
a bit confusing.
And as I say, the whole connecting it to Easter Island, I think there needs to be, if that's what it's about, if that's what the full story's about, there needs
Yeah,
to be a bigger connection somehow because I don't get it from what we've seen.
no, no. I mean, unless they summon the demons from Easter Island and that, I don't know. But like you say, we didn't get to that bit, and we weren't privy to that information. So,
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
so if you are the creators of the film, and please tell us a bit more about it in the comments, so
Yes,
we can
definitely.
sort
And
of
let
do
us
a
know
follow up.
if you're working on a full film, let us know more about it when it's likely to be out and everything, because we will look forward to seeing what you do with it.
That's it, and then we can sort of do a follow up and talk about how it connects in, which would be great. Yeah,
Yes, good stuff.
but
Okay.
yeah. So far, I thought it was go okay, on the verge to being good, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I think, yeah, that's my view on that so far.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, after it was okay. Well, it wasn't. It didn't knock me out, but there were parts of it I really liked, and I, as I say, if it's going to be expanded on and made into a bigger film, then I think maybe it could have somewhere to go that would be interesting to see.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. The second of our short films is from 2018, and it's a film called No End House.
Hmm.
Um, the writers are Brian Allen Russell and Ethan Lindner. Director is Ethan Lindner. The cast is Connor Keane, David Gattell, Dylan Hampton, Sophia Mercado. The synopsis says a thrill seeker gets more than he bargains for when he enters a local haunted house which wields supernatural powers of unimaginable terror.
Yeah. See, this was based. I've never read it, but this is based on a creepy pasta, or pastor as they call them these days, and that was, years ago. You had stuff called urban legends,
Yeah, yeah,
where they were like short stories and they were deemed to spook you out, and it's all about American culture, things like that. well, creepy pastas or creepy pastas or whatever you call them are the next generation of that sort of short, spooky internet
Oh,
board
okay.
story. Yeah. So
Okay.
there's a few different versions of this one, but this is the one that popped up on my feed as a you might like this, so I thought we'd give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, I mean that yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know that, but it's interesting now that I do. I mean, the house is kind of like it looks like someone's decorated it for Halloween, sort of haunted house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, mm, I found some things about it really interesting, and some things just a bit kind of like I don't get it. You know,
No.
um,
Yeah.
I like the way that there were things like some of the doors disappeared after he'd gone through them and things like that. That was really well done, and the change of how different the rooms were, especially when he ends up in the middle of a forest at one point.
Yes. That was rather bizarre. I
Yeah.
rewatched that bit earlier and I was like, oh yeah, that is weird.
Well,
How he
it
ends
was
up in the forest.
interestingly weird. That's the thing, is it
Yeah.
made you go, oh, hang on a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah.
It wasn't just another room.
No, and I think that is mainly part of it, is that the whole thing is that if you escape, you still end up going a bit wobbly. But I think the idea is that if you never escape and you're just constantly flowing through this, I think there's a lot of different hidden meanings in the storyline,
Yeah.
that you look into, and it's all about like how you process things and all that sort of stuff, and how things can go on forever and ever and ever and ever and not change, and there's lots of different weird layers to it.
I can. I mean, I thought it was good. It was well made, and there's some good effects in it. It's really good. But I just had the feeling at the end of it that I'd missed something, because I just got to the end of it and thought, what?
Yeah.
What? I didn't quite get it somehow. I don't know.
No, yeah, I know. It's like one of these things where it's like, did he win? Didn't he win? They weren't very clear on if he won on and managed to escape or not.
And,
But
and
you thought he did, but then there was a chance that he didn't. So
yeah,
I'm not
and
sure. Yeah.
even if he did win, was it actually a win, or was it just? Do you know what I mean? It didn't really. I don't know. I just say I wasn't sure if I'd even missed something, or if it was just kind of that I didn't kind of get a reference or something somewhere, and I
Yeah.
just kind of went over my head.
Well, I did have to watch it again. I won't lie. I did watch it twice to sort of make sure I sort of understood. And the only thing I can think on it is it's one of these films with like a weird metaphor about how if you don't break the chain, things will carry on the same over and over
Yeah, I
again.
suppose.
So, yeah.
I'm not sure. I think that maybe a house that wielded supernatural powers of unimaginable terror was overselling it a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. But obviously that's the way it is in the creepy pasta, and I suppose it depends on which film you watch, depends on how they portray the story. If you could watch a Hollywood blockbuster that did it, I'm sure they would go way over the top with it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this is
But
where it's that whole thing of what's it called? You know, uh where you expectations versus reality. So
yeah,
they're pushing it a bit too much.
yeah. I
They
know.
should have said on the description it was a low budget film, really, rather than going unimaginable terror.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I know. I mean, it was all right. I wasn't left feeling that I wasted my time watching it,
No,
but I just wasn't totally sure that I understood what it was all
all
about, to
about
be honest.
yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
just
very modern concept, like of these different things. So it's
mm,
very open ended whether or not he escapes or not, and all these sorts of different things. It's one of these ones where it could have done with an extra 10 minutes to
may-
iron out the plot.
maybe I'm just getting too old for these things. I don't know. It's possible.
But yeah, it also might be the fact that it does have found footage elements.
I don't know. That didn't bother me too much. It was just yeah. I don't know. I
But
don't know.
it's interesting that there's some things that you don't like and you do. This is why we're here,
Yeah,
is to
yeah,
challenge and talk to each other about all these different things. like I said, I liked it, and I saw the bits underneath. You know how he was slowly going mad from repetition and stuff
Yeah,
like that. So
I kind
you
of
know,
get that, but it was just a bit. I think I think for me to get to fully show that, they would need to go through the whole thing at least twice.
yeah. Well, there's no. This is where it would have been budgetally all right, because you know what I would have done? I'd have just looped the whole thing again
Yeah,
and then changed
absolutely,
the end. You know, like you
definitely.
say, there's no harm in letting people do that, and I think maybe that's what he needed to do. Maybe keep the same, do the whole thing again, keep certain scenes and change certain things, and you could have made it a half an hour film
Yeah,
with some subtle changes in each bit, and then have the ending. Like you say, he would have been absolutely bonkers by then.
yeah,
You
completely.
know,
Yeah,
it reminded me, obviously, there's a film out of the cinema at the minute called Exit 8, and
right.
that's very sort of similar in vein. But the, where they're just walking around an empty corridor for like half an hour, and then all of a sudden the eyes on the poster start looking at you, and things start changing around you that are subtle. Maybe that's how where they should have done it. Really, is have more rooms, but the different things were more subtle, and it led you in a bit more to the
Yeah,
premise.
maybe,
Maybe that would have been better.
maybe. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. It wasn't bad. Okay, our feature film for this week is a new independent film, which, as I say, is coming out. I think it's the end of May. I think it's the end of May. It's coming out on DVD and physical media, and it's called Soul's Chapel.
Mm.
It's from 2026. The writer is David Deering. Director is Jake C. Young. The cast is Andrew Pearson, Nicole Santo Zaverd, Brian Bremner, Jake C. Young, Gary Dando, Gage Carnes, Adriana Kurtzinger, Jeremy Boggs, Loretta Chambers, Marcus Metkid, uh, Joseph McDowell, Darren Etna, and Molly Gill. Sorry. The synopsis says, when a drifter is cutting through the backwoods of Kentucky in search of gold, he
Mm.
decides to weather the snowstorm in a small church called Soul's Chapel. But he will soon find out that the fate that awaits him is anything but holy.
Mm.
Ooh.
Mm.
I mean, the cinematography, especially at the beginning, the landscape stuff and all that sort of thing, I thought was brilliant, and the sort of like
Yeah, and
the
it's very,
setting.
very rare that we get a Western themed horror. I know we obviously had the one with Wesley the other day, but
Yeah,
that's two examples in like hundreds.
but
Um,
I mean, the thing got me about this is I was confused as the film went on. I got confused as to what year it was supposed to be because
yeah,
they were talking about a war. And then they started talking about it as if they were fighting the Germans. And they were
right,
talking about the fact of checking him to see if he had a radio on him.
okay.
So, do they mean after the First World War, the Second World War, or was it earlier than that? I don't know what.
Well, you say that, but when you looked at the guns that they had futuristic
Well,
guns.
it's very steampunk. The whole thing, the
Yes,
weapons, the way that they're dressed, and everything is very steampunk.
yeah. So, like you're saying, which year was it? I thought it was like a futuristic western after the That's the vibe I got. Was the apocalypse has happened? We're in, America. Here's some, and they've gone back to being cowboys.
Yeah,
That's the vibe I got.
yeah. I don't know. I couldn't quite work it out. I mean, there's some good ideas, and I found it an interesting thing. It's a quite funny thing. It's like sort of he walks in through this gate into where the chapel is, and when you see the outside part of it later, you realise that the gate and the fence is literally only about 100 yards from where the chapel is.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a woman. by these graves that are right by the side of the chapel. In order to see her properly, he gets out a telescope. And it's like, why would you need a telescope? They're not that far away. It's just a bit bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Some of the ideas in it were good, like you say, and
oh,
some
yeah.
very questionable. It was weirdly paced for me. It was slow fast. It was one of these ones where it was like not much happens. They plod along, and then all of a sudden there's big storyline elements that last for about 20 minutes. One
Yeah.
minute they're sitting down just eating dinner and nothing's really happening, and then you get these big long sequences that evolve the storyline quite well, and then it sort of stops again, and then it's almost like the film's got a full belly, needs to rest, and then just has a bit of a calm moment, and then just fully,
I mean, there was some decent jump scares in the bits where there was action,
yeah,
which I think were quite good. But the thing about it is, this was a bit like the last one for me,
yeah,
the last short film, which is the fact the place looks like it's been decorated for Halloween.
yeah,
It's got like fake spiders and fake spider webs and things like that, and you kind of go, "What the hell was that all about?"
yeah. Was
Yeah,
that meant to be real? You don't know, or was it meant to be decorated for Halloween? You're not sure. Yeah,
and I liked the I don't know, demon or whatever it was that was resurrected. That looked
mm,
really good, and that
yeah.
was just practical makeup and costuming. That was what I thought was really good. It's the fact they did it all practical costuming and makeup, and no real major effects on it.
Well, that was great. Like you say, we love a bit of practical effects. We love the real stuff, and I did
Absolutely.
like the costuming as well. The costumes were good.
Mm,
And
yeah,
like you said, the
definitely.
steampunk vibe was good, and yeah, the practical effects of the monster was great. I mean, I wasn't too sure on the jars that were in the basement; they looked a bit weird, but
Yeah, well, I think I mean it's a I've seen it done before. Where what you do is you get a jar, you get a cut a picture of somebody's head out of a magazine,
yeah, oh,
roll
right.
it around the jar, and put some water in it, and it
Yeah,
looks like it's got a head in it.
yeah. Oh, is that what they tried to do?
Yeah, that's what I've seen done before. Whether that's how he did it, he just kind of looks at it. I mean, yeah, I mean there was some good effects towards the end as well. At the end of it, I thought worked really well. There was some great, as you say, with the thing of it being sort of not a lot and then action, then not a lot. There were some great set pieces, but
Hmm.
for me, there was no kind of coherent storyline to it. It just
No,
kind of jumped from one thing to another.
it's one of these things where it's like they're obviously hoping for a sequel and a trilogy and stuff, and it's where these it drives me mad with films now, and it's definitely a thing where they run before they can walk.
Hmm.
So it's like they're. Um, it's why the last, not obviously not Toby Maguire's and not the new guy, but it's why Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man films flopped because even with the first film they were building up to the third and the fourth and the fifth, and
Yeah,
I'm like, no, you know, focus on one coherent film and then put a little bit at the end that leads on to the rest. Don't spend a whole film developing a trilogy.
yeah,
You want to make that one film successful, and then put the little 5 minutes at the end after the trailer after the bits at the end, and then you have the this is what's going to happen next if we get a new thing.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. It is the thing, everybody is looking for the next franchise.
That's right. I mean,
That's
this
where
is
the
the
big money
problem.
is.
This is the problem with the Hellboy stuff is that they pushed the Hellboy one with the bloke from Stranger Things.
Yeah,
They pushed that so much, it had 5 clips at the end building to another film that never happened. So this is the problem with these things is that, and I think this is the problem with this film is it's focusing too much on what's going to happen next to the character next. No, we just want the first bit.
yeah.
We just want a nice self-contained film, um, and
But
we can worry about the sequels when and if they happen.
in the end, the storyline didn't really leave it sort of open enough to do too much of a sequel, really.
Mm.
which is kind of like a bit odd because, as you say, it seemed to be kind of like edging towards that, and then it kind of shut it down. One thing about this, I don't normally pick out individual pieces of writing in a film,
No, you're very good with that. You're usually
but
very kind with writing.
but there was one bit of this that made no sense to me at all. They got this guy in chains, right?
Right,
One of their crew have been killed. And they go in, and the bloke says, I'll only ask once who killed him.
right.
The guy says, what? And the woman says, liar. Which, what? And then the guy asked him again who killed him. So it's like, you're only going to ask once,
Mm,
but you've asked twice.
yeah.
It was just a little bit that made me go, what?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, so it was unusual. You're right there.
it
Yeah.
was. I mean, it's an okay film, but it's not
Mm.
great. I wouldn't say it was a great film.
No, it's grasping at nearly being good, and that's a shame because it holds a very interesting premise.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is really good.
Yeah, but like you say, it's a bit confusing, and it feels like there's a few things going on all at once that don't. Some of it doesn't really get resolved,
Yeah,
and then they rush to the end, and
yeah,
then it's like okay. But yeah, I want to see a bit more from this character, but I feel that they need to do a bit more. They need to do like a director's cut or some bits and pieces. Do a documentary or something. Do a blurb at the start that explains the year and all that, because I did feel that it was futuristic, and
yeah,
you felt it was based in the past. So
yeah.
there's definitely something not quite right
Well, I
there with
mean,
the
when it first
writing.
started, I thought it was like an old Western.
Yeah, me too. And then
And
they're and
then
then
when
they're
you
rocking
got into
out
the
weird
chapel,
guns, and I'm
yeah.
like, okay, so this is future then.
And then they said about whether he got a radio on him and about the war with the Germans.
Yeah, and the guns did feel more like lasers than actual guns.
Yeah.
Especially the mark on his head and that. It looked like a laser burn rather than a, you
And I
know.
mean, if it's a steampunk story,
Yeah,
then you need to go all out on the steampunk elements. Whereas this kind of like had nods to it,
yeah,
but not enough for you to go, oh, it's a steampunk story.
yeah.
You
That's
know.
it. Yeah, so it nearly got there, but wasn't quite 100% how we wanted it. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
Mm.
still, I'm not saying I'm not glad that we watched it because I'm always happy to watch new independent stuff and see what's
Definitely,
going on out there
you
and
know,
give it an airing.
definitely, and it's good to champion it, even if we're not sure, because some other people might watch it and think
Yeah,
it's the bee's knees. We might be.
absolutely. I mean, as I say with all of the films that we review, what we say about it is our opinion, and the people watching, listening, their opinion about it could be 100% different to ours.
That's it.
And
I mean, this might be the next big cult hit. We might be completely off base. Let us
absolutely.
know in the comments what you think if you've seen it.
If you've seen it or if you get a chance to see it, let us know what you think and keep an eye out for it because I mean, as I say, it's coming out on physical media, and I'm assuming that at some point it will probably be streaming somewhere.
Yeah,
So keep an eye out for it and let us know what you think of it.
that's right. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know what
Okay.
you think, and let us know if you want to talk about any films or you have any suggestions for next week or the week after. Hit us up in the comments as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, Bedja.
That's all right. Thank you very much.
Always
In a
lovely
minute,
to do.
my cat's trying to get my attention. Ripley
That's
says
all right.
hello. And I'm just going to bring you down a bit. Say hello.
No, go on. No, what?
She there?
Hello.
Yeah, there she is. Say hello, Ripley.
Hello. No, I'm going to
There
bash
you
it.
go. But yeah, so
Fair enough.
thank you very much, everyone, for watching, guys. And
Yes,
like you
thank you.
say, comment and let us know what everyone thinks.
Absolutely. Next week we will be doing science fiction again.
Mm.
And I can't remember what we're going to be doing, but hey ho, we will do something. It'll be
Yes, that's right. Look forward to it as always.
two shorts and a feature film as always. There will be another interview episode up this week with a lovely actress called Pat Garrett.
Okay.
Has had a interesting career.
Ooh.
She's done some interesting horror stuff, especially more recently, and she goes right the way back to she worked with Jim Henson and the Muppets.
Oh wow!
She helped to choreograph all of the movement to music. It wasn't dancing, but the movement to music that was done in Santa Claus the movie.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So there you
well,
go.
The original one, or
yeah, the one with Dudley Moore.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
So yes, that's up this weekend if anyone's interested. She's a lovely woman, and I had the pleasure of talking to her a couple of years ago at the Romford Horror Film Festival, and she was in a fantastic film called Wyvern Hill.
Oh.
So there you go. All right.
There you go. All right. Thanks everyone for watching, and please do check out the interviews.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.